Hello listeners, welcome back to Toolbox Talks on this side shed. Thank you once again for sharing your earbuds with us wherever you are on this planet. You're joining us today for the third and final episode of the How to Kill It on YouTube series that I'm conducting with my co-host Stan Genadek from Dirt Monkey University. Stan is a landscape gardener who's built a YouTube empire. And the reason I've had him on the show here is because I firmly believe that you guys as contractors and tradies are in such an amazing position to leverage YouTube as a marketing tool. However, few of you are doing it correctly. So the idea behind this series was just to give you guys a bit more insight and maybe dispel a few of the myths. In the first episode, we were talking about getting started with YouTube. In the second episode, we were talking about how to create great videos, where Stan gave us some good tools, tips, tricks, etc. And in this final episode, we're going to be talking about using your videos to generate income. Now, as always, the previous episode is always designed for the next episode to segue into. So if you've missed the other two, go back and check them out. And also, if you have any comments or questions, please post them in the comments section of the show notes available on this blog page. Failing that, if you see it on social media anywhere, you can go and share. You can post your comments in there as well, and we endeavor to get back to them. If you're enjoying this podcast and if you enjoyed this series, I would greatly appreciate it if you headed across to iTunes and just left us a review. You have no idea how much it helps the rankings and enables us to keep doing the things we're doing. So anyway, no more on that. Let's dive right into part 3 of the How to Kill It on YouTube series, which is using your videos to generate income. Enjoy.
Giving tradies and contractors around the globe the tools to run a modern business. You're listening to Toolbox Talks from the Site Shed. Now here's your host, Matt Jones.
Hello listeners, welcome back to Toolbox Talks on the Site Shed, where you are joining us today for part 3 of the How to Kill It on YouTube series that I'm conducting with my co-host for this series, Stan Genadek. Stan is from Dirt Monkey University, and this episode is called Using Your Videos to Generate Income. In the first episode of the series, we were talking about getting started with YouTube. As always, we structure these series so that each episode ties into the next. So it will pay you dividends to go back and check out episode 1, getting started on YouTube. Episode 2, creating great videos. In that episode, Stan was running through with us some of the tools, techniques, technology, or lack thereof that he uses when creating videos. It's very important that you go check that out. And you may be very surprised to hear some of Stan's comments on things on tools and things that you can avoid using. In this episode, we're talking about using videos to create and generate an income. Now, I'm definitely interested in this, Stan, because to be honest, firstly, welcome back to the microphone. Thank you for joining us again.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, bud.
I'll just go off on this little ramble here and get caught up in my own little world. So yeah, using YouTube to generate income. Now, this is something that I find intriguing because, there's obviously so much content out there on YouTube. How the hell do you make money out of it? That's really the bottom line, right? I mean, it's all cool. We're talking about entertaining and educating and stuff, but at the end of the day, if it's a business, you want to make money. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this episode with you. Where do I start with this? I mean, okay, it's obviously primarily, and you spoke about this in the last episode, you can make money firstly because YouTube is paying you to create videos. So we'll definitely address that. And then secondly, your customers are finding you through the videos that YouTube's paying you to create. So that's another thing. I'm interested, I suppose, specifically in this episode about how you get paid by YouTube and why they would pay you, and what are the benchmarks or what are the metrics that they're looking for in order for them to pay you. How does that all work? Can you shed a bit of light on that?
Okay, so the very easiest way for you to make money on YouTube, the fastest, easiest way is to create a YouTube video that translates into a sale for your business. So it doesn't make a difference. Give me an business example, Matt. Who do you think would be the most relevant business? Let's just pick something.
Let's say a home renovation specialist.
Oh, that's a beautiful. Those guys are, this would be pay dividends for these guys, because what you really want to do is you want to sell your services. So you want to sell home renovation. For a home renovation expert, name a city that's relevant to
Sydney,
to where you're at. Sydney. Okay. Home renovation, Sydney, Australia, correct?
Right.
So is that it? Would you find that to be a relevant search term?
To be honest, you'd probably narrow it down a bit further.
Okay.
Sydney's quite a big city. Maybe say home renovation specialist, Northern Beaches.
Northern Beaches. So you have suburbs of Sydney, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so you're going to want to do Northern Beaches, then you're going to home renovation, Northern Beaches, home renovation, a different area. So you're going to title the video different areas because in reality, the best way to make money is to promote your business.
Yeah.
Not a lot of other companies are going to be using YouTube to promote their businesses as an actual tool. They're going to use it as a secondary thing, as just, something that they kind of do, or they got to do it because the Joneses are doing it. But when you absolutely, literally dominate your area with YouTube videos, you're going to come up when you do a search. It's going to give you, videos as one of the topics, and it's going to populate with all of your videos. And each video is going to sell the job. So the easiest way to do it is just to sell your service.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of guys are going, oh, yeah, I know about that. Okay. Well, in reality, that's as far as it's going to go for some people, because to get to the next step is a completely different universe, and that is to become a YouTube star. I'm air quoting right now. I don't know what else you're going to call it, Matt. It's going to be called. I don't know what you're going to call it. I mean, I don't. Some people try to lump me into that, and I don't feel like it. I'm just very passionate about it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happens is you create videos not just to promote your business, but to promote your channel. So you're creating a video just to get people to watch you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they start to watch you by the millions per month, then YouTube is going to place ads onto your videos. They may place an ad for Menards. They may place an ad for Home Depot or some kind of a whatever store. I don't care, maybe Tide detergent. I don't care what it is. But then when people click on that ad that's on your video that you have nothing to do with, because YouTube is doing it from that point, YouTube pays you for every time somebody clicks on that ad, right?
Gotcha.
And when you get it's not about, YouTube doesn't pay you for subscribers. Here's a big thing that people need to ingrain in their head. YouTube pays you for views.
Okay.
Not subscribers. So you can I see channels that have 50, 60,000 subscribers, and they may get 100 to 200,000 views per month. That channel isn't making any money.
Right.
I see channels that have 5,000 subscribers, but they're getting 1 million views per month. That channel has a fraction of the subscribers the other channel has, but is going to make, through YouTube, an astronomically more amount of money because they're getting so many more views than the bigger channel. So it's about creating a video people want to watch, and it boils down to parts 1 and 2, where we talked about education and entertainment. But flip it. It's got to be entertaining and then educational. And so when you start to take YouTube as a business in and of itself, you are going to monetize your videos. And it's just simply an algorithm in the back end. When you create a video, you hit monetize it. Then you connect it to an account. Then you have to verify the account. And you have to go through some certain technical steps. But once you do it, it's a one and you're done. All right, Matt?
Yep.
So when the guys start to get more popular and they start to go, hey, you know what? There's more to this YouTube than just selling my services. Now I'm doing what Dirt Monkey's doing. I'm making money on the videos from YouTube. I'm also selling the services in combination. So it's like a 1-2 punch. You're getting paid, from all ends. And that's what you really want. You want your marketing to pay you.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm glad you answered that question because that was one of the points I had here. What's the difference between subscribers and views from a money-making perspective? And you've just addressed that, so that's awesome. One of the other questions I had was when we talk about, so there's effectively what you're saying is there's 2 ways you can make money through YouTube. Firstly, they'll pay you if you have a lot of views. And secondly, they will run ads over your videos and then they pay you for anybody that clicks on that ad. Is that correct?
Well, that's all the same. So when you're technically getting paid for views, really what you're doing is you're putting your video in front of as many people as possible, and then a percentage of them will ultimately click on that ad. And that's what you're getting paid for, is how many times that ad gets clicked in reality.
Do you have any control, Stan, over what ads are being broadcasted over your video?
You do have a certain level. I honestly don't deal with that. I don't care. As YouTube's willing to pay me for an ad, you can stick whatever ad you want as long as it's, not totally inappropriate. But you can also sell the rights to your video to certain advertisers, and don't do that. As my experience is, as soon as you start to develop a channel where it gets noticed, so when you start to get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 subscribers or so, you're going to start to get all of these weird, hey, we've noticed you from marketers, and we want to partner up with you. Don't do it. Just and they promise you that they'll do this or that, or they'll promote you, and really what you're doing is selling the rights to your channel. I've never done it personally, so I'm not going to tell you absolute don't do it or go ahead and do it. But my experience from other YouTubers is that you want to be able to reserve all the rights to your own channel. It's a very important thing that you're doing. So just be careful if you do decide to go down that road. I can't tell you more than that.
I suppose one of the reasons I asked that question was, if you're a home renovation expert and you're building a fantastic YouTube channel and you get a lot of followers, then you see a competitor's ad pop up on your or one of your videos. I mean, to me, that's a conflict of interest. So I would want to have some sort of say in that. Yes, it's smart marketing from them, but I think in the way it's kind of also a bit dishonest.
I think that's actually a compliment. Now I'm going to go the devil's advocate on you, Matt.
Okay.
I'm going to say that's a compliment, and you shouldn't shy away from that, because you should be such an authority in your market that they want to be placed on your channel, because there's no other way for them to be able to compete with you. Now, when we talk about using YouTube to monetize it as a paid resource in and of itself, it's the difference of focusing on the videos on your business, and now you're focusing the videos on you as a personality.
Yeah.
And nobody can compete with your personality. Okay? When you become the most popular person at the party, nobody can compete with your personality. And that's really what you're trying to do. YouTube is a giant party, and you've got to be the most popular person in home renovation at the party, right?
Yeah, that's an interesting and valid paradigm.
Now, one of the things that I want to caution you about is your self-limiting beliefs. Okay, because that right there is going to probably turn a lot of people off. And you don't have to be always on. Mm-hmm. But when the camera turns on, you've got to be on. Like right now, Matt, if you met me at a party, you probably wouldn't talk to me very much, because I really don't have a lot to say, because I give it all out in front of the camera. And by the time the camera is off, I'm tired. I want to relax. So I'm not that outgoing, amazing person 24/7. But when the camera turns on, I know that I've got to amp my energy level up. I've got to amp my personality up. Even when I'm in like an interview like this, I've got to amp everything up to make sure that I'm hitting on all the relevant points, saying it as fast as possible, but yet not being dry and boring.
Yep.
And so when you become that most popular person at the party, people are going to want to advertise on your videos and on your channel. Don't let that slow you down. Just understand that the message within your video is going to be so powerful that their advertisement on that little blurb that's across the bottom is going to be nothing more than a compliment. It tells you you are on the right path.
Yeah, cool. No, that makes sense. Stan, I'm curious, and I'm sure all the listeners out there are curious as well, around some of the figures or approximate figures or whatever, just in relation to how, when we say, YouTube can pay you, like what are we talking here? Like, is it a certain amount of views attributes to a certain monetary value? Is that how it works?
Yes. So the easiest way, if you want to look up any popular YouTuber and you want to find out what they make programs that tell you what YouTubers make is public information.
Oh,
any YouTuber at any YouTuber at any time, you can look up how much they make on a monthly basis and on a yearly basis on every single one of their channels.
Oh, okay.
It's not hidden by any means. People just don't know about it, so they don't realize it. In fact, there's programs specifically designed where you can analyze how many subscribers a person gets on a daily basis, how many views they get on a daily basis, and what their income is, and you can go into detailed stats on any single channel that exists out there today, as long as it has more than 5 subscribers.
Right. Okay.
I mean, and literally that's the criteria. It's a lot of these algorithms that are behind the scenes. The requirement is you got to have more than 5 subscribers, or we can't analyze the channel for you.
Fair enough.
So it's as simple as that. There's no mystery. And on YouTube itself, it talks about people make videos on how much YouTubers make because most people don't understand it.
Okay.
So
well, that's a good tip. That answers that. I suppose, there's that myth out there. Well, I don't know if it's a myth, but you hear all these stories, or you hear the common stories of people, like the random person that just goes on this, makes millions and millions out of YouTube all of a sudden, and then you try and do it yourself and you make nothing. And you always hear about the good stories, right? But I'm just, I suppose, curious as to the reality of the type of money you can make out of it. Like, is it really a matter of, okay, I can hang up my boots now because I'm just doing YouTube, or is it something that you would use, as you said earlier, to complement the services that you supply and then sort of get the best of both worlds?
Now, when we first started this interview, Matt, I told you that I'm a contractor first and foremost.
Correct.
And there's a reason, because I'm not making a killing on YouTube.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But YouTube pays me enough that it's my whole marketing, and it pays me to market. So it's an absolute brilliant marketing technique. Because I'm also niche. I'm in landscaping, man. I mean, I'm not in one of these niches where, like, PewDiePie, who's got 50 million subscribers.
Right.
Okay. That guy can hang up his hat.
What is it?
And do whatever he wants because he's got 50 million subscribers. I've got 45,000 or whatever it is. I don't know.
Right.
So there's a big difference. But in our niche, now we're talking about businesses that are creating niches. You don't need to have a ton of subscribers.
Yeah.
You got to get your YouTube video in front of your paying customers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference.
Okay. Stan, I'd like to talk about, I suppose, building your database through YouTube. So one of the big things we like to help and encourage customers and listeners to do, both at, Tradie Web Guys, the web business, and then, of course, anyone that's listening to the podcast, it's really important to start building a database that you own and control. Obviously, you don't, at the end of the day, own YouTube. However, do you employ tactics that get people from YouTube back to, say, your website where they can opt in for something and become part of your personal database?
Every single one of my videos directs people to, now, for me, it's Dirt Monkey University, which is my desire, which is my passion, which is, Dirt Monkey University is nothing more than a school on how to how to do landscaping, how to do business, how to do things like that. Okay. My actual business itself is Genadek.com. So it's my last name plus .com. That's my landscaping business. That's what pays the bills, keeps the lights on, puts food on the table for my family.
Okay.
Once people start to understand who you are as a person, they want to hire you directly. Well, you're going to want them to go to your business, and you will be surprised at how many people will find you, even when you don't want to be found. So as you grow, as you take YouTube on as a business in and of itself, and now we're talking about YouTube as a business and not just to promote your business, and you want to hide your personal life, you will be surprised, Matt. I'm driving down the road, and all of a sudden I get a call on my cell phone, which is not listed anywhere. I don't give it to anybody.
Yeah.
I get a call on my cell phone from a guy saying, "I want to be your brother." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, I want to be your blood brother. I want to be blood brothers with you. Is that a possibility? And the first thing I'm thinking is, nobody in the universe has this number that I don't allow it out to, but somehow they still are able to track you down. So that's how powerful your videos will become. And I don't want to scare people away, because you want your videos to have that far-reaching effect where people talk about it, they tell other people, and they tell other people. But there's always going to be the little negative things that happen, and you got to look at everything as the glass half full or half empty.
Yeah.
Now, at that point, it's a little freaky, but I'm a half full kind of guy. I'm thinking, wow, my videos are far reaching enough that an unlisted phone number, they're able to find who I am and be able to reach out and communicate with me. And that's how much of an impact the videos have had that this person wants to actually become a blood. And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to be your blood brother, man. I've already got enough family, plain and simple. I mean, I'm pretty damn real when it comes down to it. And it goes right back to what we said, that polished presentation, that's not going to get people to be engaged with you. You've just got to be real and raw is what I tell people.
Yep.
And if you make mistakes, they're going to be able to relate with that message even more powerful than if you're an absolutely perfect person.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so what's your take on live streaming?
Personally, I don't like it. Live streaming is going to be the future. I've talked to Joel Comm. I interviewed him. He's kind of one of the pioneers of Periscope and live streaming and Facebook Live and things like that. And it's for everybody. So you're going to find that as social media channels grow, they're going to ebb and flow. They're going to do what they want to do. But I prefer YouTube in and of itself simply because I can monetize those videos. Now, I'm about making the most money possible for my business. And that means promoting the business, keeping something that's out there for years to come that are still going to sell my jobs. Live streaming really doesn't do that. Live streaming is more hitting on that market now. So you have YouTube Live, you've got Facebook Live, you've got Periscope, you've got all these different markets where if it's for you, great, because you're in the early adopters phase. You're in that phase where people are just starting to get on. And when you get on early enough, you're going to grow and expand your audience. And then you're going to be able to create that as a business in and of itself. So maybe you can't monetize those videos, Matt, but what you can do is you can direct people to your products or services when you have a large enough audience.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of serve different purposes, like a live stream video and then like an educational or entertainment video, perhaps a little bit more structured. I feel like they're kind of, two different things.
Well, they are two different things. And remember now, we're using these videos, we've talked about it for the last hour, as a search engine optimization because of the relationship YouTube and Google has. So it's about promoting your business and getting it on that first page.
Yeah.
You've talked about the SEO techniques because that's where you're an expert at and you can see the relevance. Now, when you have a live stream, you can still do that with you can record that and then play it back as a video later on, or some people record the live stream and then use it as a YouTube video. But a lot of times what I find is that your engagement level may go down.
Right.
Remember, we talked about how relevant that engagement level is because YouTube will notice when people click away and how fast they're clicking away. And so you've got to catch that short attention span. We talked about commercials and how a commercial in a 30-second commercial may have 15 different scene changes. You may be lucky if you get beyond 2 seconds. In a commercial, 5 seconds is a very long before a scene change occurs. On a live stream, you're nothing more than a talking head in reality. So it kind of goes against the grain. You've got to have an engaging enough personality that people just want to tune into you and find out what you're saying, or your content's got to be so over the top amazing that people are going to go, oh my God, this is like a gold going into my ears. And very few people have those skills.
Yeah, fair enough. I suppose getting to the end of this episode now, what's your take on this new YouTube Red?
YouTube Red is growing. It is, it's just like anything else. You analyze it and you want to get in early if you think it's right for you, and you can do it if they offer. So YouTube Red is one of those things where I'm trying to remember, Matt. I'll be honest with you, I don't keep up with all social media. I remember I'm a contractor first and foremost. What I found to be the most powerful things are Instagram and YouTube. YouTube Red is a paid subscription, if I remember right. I'm on YouTube Red, but I don't know enough about it to give anybody.
I think it's there to eliminate ads and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. And for content generators, so YouTube creators or Google content creators, you have the opportunity to get in and to create specific content just for YouTube Red.
Okay.
And so until I know more about it, I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on it. I'm just literally learning more about it as it goes. So
okay. Well, look, why don't we wrap this up with a quick framework for the listeners out there? I suppose in starting a video channel and using it to generate income. So first of all, would I be right in saying that create videos that sell your services? So talk about things that you do or done or case studies or whatever it is And would you have some sort of call to action in your video that would drive people back to your website or to an opt-in form or something like that?
Two times. Because here's one of the things. Remember, the people click off. And if you have an engagement rate we talked about, Matt, a high engagement rate is over 50%. And what that means is if people watch more than 50% of your video, you're doing pretty darn well, right?
Yep.
So if your call to action is at the very end of the video and you have 100 people watch that, well, 50 of those people for sure missed your call to action at the end. Okay. So literally you want to have a call to action closer to the beginning of the video. Okay. And then a second call to action at the end of the video. Okay. It's huge. Make sure that you're getting that early audience. You're getting your message in front of them, who you are.
Okay, that's cool. That makes sense. And so is that call to action? Are you speaking that, or is it one of those pop-ups that come up on the screen, or could it be either, or could it be, how you have those things too, where you click on this button now and it'll take you to whatever? How does all that stuff work?
Well, when you create a video, you can actually have subscribe now, and it can be there the entire time of the video. You can have go to my website, and that could be a button that you can click on inside the video, and that can always be there, a little tiny thing down in the corner.
Cool.
Or you can do, like, if you watch one of my videos, you can see where I have a transition where I do an intro to the video. I get the people intrigued about what I'm going to be talking about, and then I do Dirt Monkey University, and that's always under 5 seconds, that transition. So it's almost like, hey, here's the commercial to what the video is going to be about. Here's the show notes, or here's the, who I am. That's the Dirt Monkey logo flashing across. And then you get into the video. And then at the end of the video, I show the exact same thing. So it's almost like that title that, tells what the show is. Are you following what I'm saying with that, Matt?
Yep, absolutely. So you create a video on your services, get a call to action, drive people back to the website at least twice, once at the beginning, once at the end. What about one thing we haven't touched on is the frequency of video production? So do you schedule your videos? Like, do your followers know that on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Stan's going to release a new video for Dirt Monkey?
That is a huge factor. It's about two things: quality and quantity.
Yeah.
Both go hand in hand. When you are attempting to develop a YouTube channel, you've got to have both. The more videos you can put out and the higher quality they are, the faster your channel is going to grow. To develop my channel, I put out 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 a.m. As I started to improve the quality and the messaging and started to take more time into each video became a job in and of itself. So each video started to take me, where it used to take me an hour or 2 hours to make a video, upload it, put it up there. It took me a day to 2 days. And so I couldn't do 3 videos a week anymore and still run a business. So when you see one of my videos, that takes at least 2 days now for me to make that video, at minimum 2 days. But you're going to find that I'm hitting on all of the main messages, and now my channel in and of itself no longer even promotes my business. My channel promotes my channel to try to get more subscribers, to get more things like that. So I put higher quality into it, and I just can't do it as frequently as I'd like. But when you are developing your channel, the more, the better, and also have amazing messaging. If you're just going to go on and randomly vlog, you're going to hit a cap at how many people are going to care about who you are and what you had for breakfast.
Okay, awesome. Well, mate, I'm pretty happy with that. Is there anything that you think we've missed, or anything you'd like to add, or any takeaways? Or
So we covered a lot of this information. We didn't cover it the way that I would really like to cover it. I've got what I call the YouTube cram course.
Yep.
So I took everything that I've done, and in 18 months of obsessing about this, and I've broken it down into a very systematic approach, and I've actually taken a DJ service that has 50 videos up and that has struggled to get any success. He's paid thousands of dollars to have high production videos put up, and I've literally transformed the way he's done all of his videos, and he's already starting to gain more attention than he's ever done before. And I show you that in what I call the YouTube cram course. And so that is very simple, straightforward, and it helps get this message across in a very succinct manner. And so that's where I'd like people to go to. It's at Dirt Monkey University if people are interested in finding that.
I'll put a link to that.
Okay, great. That would be great. We've covered so much information, and I worry that sometimes maybe we went over people's heads in this stuff, and I try to make sure that I didn't get too complicated in it, but there is an absolute science to creating a phenomenal channel. And what you'll see, those success stories are absolutely real. There's two ways to develop a channel. There's to have that one mega success video that explodes and goes viral, and that is few and far between. That's like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're gonna have a huge rush of success and then absolutely nothing. Everything's gonna fizzle. Or you treat it like a business and you slowly develop a channel that gets consistent subscribers, consistent views on a day-to-day basis, that sells your services and that gets more views every single day, where YouTube starts to notice it and starts to pay you to continue to make videos to put on your channel. Beautiful. To sell your services.
Mate, I love it. Well, look, I just want to say thanks for co-hosting this series with me. Certainly couldn't have done it without you. So where can people get hold of you, Stan?
The easiest way is to just go to dirtmonkeyuniversity.com. Dirtmonkey University, if they want more information about anything that we've talked about, starting a landscape business, building a company, being in construction, how to develop, market a construction business. That's why I developed the YouTube channel in the first place, was to promote my business, Genadek.com, but my listeners don't want that, because unless you're in the Twin Cities metropolitan area and need a retaining wall, you don't need that company.
Yeah.
But if you're developing a business, you're going to want Dirt Monkey University. You can find me there. That's the best place to find me.
What's the YouTube channel called again? The name?
Stanley Dirt Monkey Genadek. If you type Dirt Monkey, you're going to find two things. You're going to find a rock band called Dirt Monkey, and you're going to find me. And we're not the same.
Okay, good advice. Okay, mate. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Once again, listeners, if you have any questions, or if you wanted Stan to answer anything specifically, by all means, you can either comment in the comment section of the show notes for whatever episode you're listening to through the site shed. Failing that, if you've seen this pop up on social media, you can also comment there, and I'll loop Stan into that and get that answered for you as soon as we can. We're going to post some links to all these things that Stan's talked about within the show notes as well. So fear not if you want to get hold of him, or you want to check out his YouTube channel, etc. All the links will be in the show notes. And we'll also post a link to the YouTube cram course. If you're in that space and you feel like it's time for you to get your YouTube on, then we'll post a link to that course where you can learn firsthand from a man that's in the trenches. Stan, thanks very much for joining us, mate. I appreciate the time. It's been very informative, and I know our listeners are going to absolutely love it.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you having me. It's been an honor.
And that pretty much wraps it up. So stay tuned for the next episode, listeners. Thank you for listening to another episode of Toolbox Talks. If you're liking what you hear, then you can head across to the siteshed.com, where you can join our community by signing up to our Toolbox Talks. You'll get sent a weekly notification, which is basically a highlight of everything that we've spoken about during that week, along with any other industry news that may be relevant or specific to the trades. If you're enjoying the show, you can head across to iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud, where you can leave us a review. That would be fantastic, and all the reviews get read out in the show. Likewise, if you have any friends or colleagues that you think would benefit from the show and the episodes that we create, then please go ahead and share it with them.